Hello, welcome. This is our integration session for the Global Vision Quest. Welcome. I am your guide, Laura Hollick. We've been on such an epic journey together. I'm super excited to go into this today and really, bring together those puzzle pieces so we can see, so you can see that vision and kind of make sense of the things that were coming up throughout your vision quest. So welcome. Let me know where you are in the world, the Global Vision Quest. It's so incredible that we can connect and be in these journeys together, really all over the world. I am in Canada. We have a lot of snow where I am, and where my studio is, it overlooks a lake. And there's ice fishers out there, like the lake is frozen and they've got their tent set up and they're ice fishing out there. So we got full on winter. Hey, Claire. Hello, all. What an amazing experience so far. Bring on the integration. Let's do it. All right, let's get into it. So if you're anything like me, it's like once you put these things in motion, it's almost like, things like we have our time together where we're going into the vision, the visualizations, and we're focused. And then there's the time outside of that where things start happening, maybe in the dream space. For me, there were little moments, and it's almost like I had this heightened awareness as things were happening. I could spot a clue very quickly, and it was like almost like a piece in my visualization. Suddenly I would like kind of understand it from another angle because something would happen. So super interesting. We're going to go into that. Welcome, Croatia, France, UK, New York, North Carolina. It's wonderful to connect with everyone. All right, so definitely have your journal ready if you're working with the journal, because then you'll have everything housed in one place. And how could I even forget this? Oh my gosh, I have a special announcement to make. I'm going to make this towards the end. I want to focus on this, but I am kind of like spilling over with it. So just letting you know, there is going to be a special announcement. Stick around to the end. It's juicy and it is time sensitive. So that means that it's something that relates to now, right? So time sensitive, special announcement. I'll get into that as we go through it. But let's focus on this integration. Have your journal handy, all right? And just allow yourself, first of all, be proud of yourself for doing it, right? Because with anything, it is amazing to do any of these things. Like it feels so good and there's always some insight. Like it always gives something. But it also does require something. It requires kind of showing up for it, right? Like it requires putting that decision, like kind of using our free will to choose something and then actually do it, right? And that is a spiritual muscle that is constantly in motion. And sometimes maybe you're watching these live, maybe you're watching this in the replay. However you're doing it to honor yourself and what you can do, that is fantastic. Be proud of yourself for that. And let's really get a lot out of it, right? Like let's get the value from this. So when you started your journey, you set an intention. And if you do have the journal, you can go back and you can check what that is. It's on page 11, like the gateway, right? The gateway number. There's a circle there, and you filled that in with an intention. And that is something that you wanted to do a vision quest about, so that it was for you, it was serving you. So I would like you to reconnect with that. What was that intention? If you want to share it, you can share it. But just for yourself, maybe just remember it. You can write it down again. Be like, wow, that's what it was. That's why I did this. And don't be surprised if you feel that way, because you're not meant to just like constantly hold it in your brain and constantly think about it. We set it to kind of forget about it, but it does put something in motion. And sometimes when you come back, you're like, oh my gosh, that's what it was about. And it just puts everything into a different perspective. So reconnect with your intention. Write it down again for yourself. We are going to be taking notes for this integration. It's on page 18. It says insights and reflections. And this is where you can start to kind of put together the pieces. There's a spot specifically for your intention on page 19. Okay, so you can write down there, what was your intention for your Global Vision Quest experience? And let me know too if you want to share. I'd love to hear. For myself, my intention was to get my next level vision. I wrote down, illuminate my next level. What is my path forward? Who am I becoming? What is my thriving path? So I might have overdone it a little bit. This is what I always guide people, put it into like one statement. It all means the same thing. Illuminate my next level, basically. So whatever your intention was for you, feel it now that you're on this side of the vision quest. What does it mean to you now? What does that mean to you now? Allow yourself to write down we're going to do more of the specific visualizations, but just now that you're rehearing that and reconnecting with what started your journey, what does it mean to you now? Okay, so you can take some notes for yourself and share if you'd like. Hey, Mari, I hope I'm saying that right. Mary Fran, welcome. And your intention was, I am aligned with what I am meant to do. Oh, yeah. So curious how you feel about that now. Hey, Suzanne, I am a revolutionary artist. My next level. Oh, yeah. You are a revolutionary artist. Awesome. So feel into what does that mean for you now when you hear that? Okay. Take a moment to take that in. And again, there is a spot for you to specifically share that on page 19 in your journal if you're using that. Don't worry if you're not. There's no rules about it. This is just here to help you if you want it. Liza says, my intention is for clarity on what needs to be released for greater freedom of self. Oh yeah, that's interesting, right? Because sometimes we can feel like something might be holding us back. And it's like, what is it? What do I need to do to be able to move forward? Is there something I need to let go of? Do I need to clean the closet? Do I need to change a relationship dynamic? Do I need to leave a career? Like what do I need to do so I can go for what I want? Yeah, it's interesting. Curious what has come up for you. Hey, Elika. Elika says, show me the way of the heart to bring wild harmony. Ooh, I like that word combination. Wild harmony into my life. That is a really, really beautiful word combination. Wild harmony. Curious what that means for you now. Hamera says, from surviving to thriving. And my experience of the last 2 weeks has been going through a black hole and getting out of the other side. Getting out on the other side. Oh, yeah. The other end. The other end. Yep. Yeah, things look different when you're on the other end, right? When you're in it, it's like, oh God, what is going on? All right. Radha says, I hear divine inspiration. Actually, I'm seeing, not hearing. Crystal clear. Interesting. So I wonder if that means that's the new phrasing on it, the new sense on it. I do find that, when we're starting something off, it's like we have this kind of heightened focus, like we got the anticipation, we're ready to go. It's like bring this on, make this, like what's going to happen? And there's this real heightened energy and we give it all we've got. So that intention that you started with, it's like you gave it all you got. I'm certain of it. And then you put something in motion. And so I really let yourself feel, what does it mean to you now? Because you went on a journey. Okay, so we're going to go through the things that we did and start to sort of harvest the gems, right? Harvest it to see what did come through. In the moment, sometimes there's like an insight. Sometimes you can start crying because you can feel so deeply your own soul, the beauty, the magic, and it can just elicit tears, like deep soul tears. Sometimes that can happen in the moment. And other times it's kind of like, you're like, well, I saw this, where does something happen? But then nothing happened here. And it's almost a little bit like it's a mystery. And so having time for it, whatever did come through, trusting and receiving that. And then now is our time to look at whatever missing pieces might be there and look at the bigger understanding of it to decode its communication to you. All right. So when we started, our first guided visualization on day 1 was about discovering your iconic essence. Okay. So the iconic essence, and discovering your iconic essence, I will say, never ends. I've been consciously exploring that for well over a decade, consciously. And I'm certain it's probably lifetimes, but consciously over a decade of really getting into who am I? Is my soul? What's my soul's expression? What's my uniqueness? What is that unique, energetic soul frequency of where I come from, that I'm here to bring through onto this planet? Like, this is like the biggest question that really all of us will play with for our lives. So in that first guided visualization to discover your iconic essence, what we did was, and I'll just let you know a bit of the anatomy of what we did so you can maybe see it on another layer as well. We connected with our soul realm by entering our body. So this is something just to keep in mind. And for yourself, if you can remember, what part in your body were you able to enter through? Right? We connected with the body. There was an area that you went to. It might have been getting attention through even a struggle, an illness, some disease, or just an area that kind of got your attention, so you focused on it. So when we're connecting with soul, it's not like this, like, out of body experience and like we're like escaping our life. This work and what we're doing is a way for us to get more into our life, bring our soul into our physical reality. So we did enter, we found our portal to connect with our soul through the body. So just noticing for yourself what part of that body it was. It might even have a clue for you now when you think of it in that way, that is actually a gateway for you to connect with your soul. And then we went on this journey to the soul's origin, and then got to see it, and feel it and sense it. And we all see differently. We sense differently. A visualization, you might think of it as visual. I see things visually, but not everybody does. And it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong if you didn't see something. But notice what you felt. Maybe you heard something. Maybe you had an energetic experience. Notice how you did experience it, and it's perfectly valid, right? It's perfectly valid. And if you are someone who does have a lot of imagery and visual, I'm like that. And so it can literally be like watching a movie, and enjoy that if that's what it was. But we traveled to the soul's origin, your soul's origin. And in that space, you were looking for some kind of it was like an environment of some kind, and you were looking for a reflective surface so that you could see a reflection of yourself within that realm from your soul's perspective. Okay. And so if you can remember what you saw, and I did share on one of the days that I actually didn't see anything immediately in that moment for myself. But then after, as soon as that session ended, I was kind of organizing my papers, and I pulled out my journal, and my journal has this plastic cover. And when I picked it up, and it was right at the end when we just wrapped up, I picked it up, and it was like, I saw a reflection in it, and it immediately, I just started crying because I got a message from that. So you may have gotten something immediately. I'm sharing that just to let you know, like, whatever you experience is for you. It's part of your journey. And I think even though if I was to decode that as a message for myself, it's like, there's times when we go deep into those ceremonial type experiences, and then there's kind of everyday life. And for me, I got to see my reflection in the everyday life moment. And so that's actually a clue for me. It's like the ceremony is sort of an energetic heightened space. And then we live our life too. And so I just think that was a clue for me. So however it comes through, like, listen for that, right? But there's something in that you got to see some aspect of yourself from that perspective, or have a clue. And if things are coming up, take notes for yourself, because you're like remembering, and you can share if there's something that comes up and you kind of want to anchor it in, put it into the comments. And if I can, I'll read it. But we're in the decoding here, going through. From there, your soul gave you a gift of some kind. And then you gave a gift to your soul. So allowing yourself to just notice what those things were and what that might be communicating on an intuitive or an instinctive or symbolic level for you in relation to your intention. Okay, so just taking a moment to be with that. And then how we completed that visualization in that moment was then you came back through the portal back into your physical body, the awareness of your physical body. Okay, so anything from that, what feels meaningful to you? What was something like, yeah, you know what, that was like a clue. That's important. That little piece right there, that little piece. Like I shared, for me, the reflective surface came in kind of the everyday moment of like in life. And I think that's an important message for me. It's like, you know, live your life, be in your life. There's lots of clues in all of it. So taking some notes for yourself. Okay. I just had a thought as well. I want to write it down. Okay. And so there's so many layers to it, really. This kid is so deep. And that's why really this type of work it's a journey where, yes, we do our deep dives in that heightened ceremonial space, and then we integrate it into life, because ultimately it's your life. It's your life. You want to have a life that's yours. You want to integrate in this world and be connected with other people and in your career and with your body and in relationships in ways that feel like you are being you in the world. So there is always a process of integration when we do deep creative spiritual work. And I think one of the things that I feel where I might differ from other things that are out there, and there's so many things, but one of the things that I feel is really important and that you'll always see in the stuff that I'm doing, there's always a union and a relationship between higher self and humanity. We're not kind of removing ourselves to like live in this sort of alternate reality. There's an integration, there's a union, our higher self and our humanity. How do they live together? That's why we're here. That's why we're in this place of earth in human form, physical form. All right. Suzanne says, I entered the portal through my chest congestion and felt like a powerless child that couldn't breathe. The more I traveled through the space, opened up, got lighter, I breathed deeper and ended up entering the sun. Wow. Becoming the sun. I received the gift of permission to stop striving. I received it responding, I trust myself to be enough as I am. It sounds like that was the gift there. It's almost like that gift of like, you know, you're enough, right? And you received it. And it's then like the gift back, right? To trust, I trust myself. Like that's a gift back, trusting. And it's really beautiful, Suzanne. So beautiful. Yeah. Oh, love it. All right. Hey, Nina. Hey, Nina says, fill up with joy. I could see so many dolphins coming out of my heart and moving through my whole body. These dolphins are my signature strokes that I have loved. Such a beautiful message. Exactly what I need. Oh, those are emojis that I have loved. Such a beautiful message. Exactly what I needed. Yeah, it's amazing how these things, it kind of brings in just the key piece. You know, it's like your own soul knows, right? Your own intuition. When we let ourselves go there, it's like we know we have access to this wisdom and innocence, right? It's all there. Eliza says, since the journal, I've been feeling the staff given to me by my soul. I think since the journey, maybe, for the center of my being. it has flowing colors and radiates light. I can radiate this flowing, colorful strength out in the world. So beautiful. So beautiful. Oh, yeah, feeling the staff given to you by your soul is very powerful. All right. So that was our first guided visualization that kind of opened some things up. And then from there in our day 2, we had these panel discussions. And the first panel, we were talking about claiming the power of our iconic essence. And that can be really emotional because it's like it's hard to do. It's easy to do because it's what's natural to us, but it can be hard to do. And often we do have to face some challenges to claim our life, claim the life that is ours uniquely. And I think the reason why it's a challenge, and maybe this will change as the energetics of the world change, but I think the reason why it is a challenge to claim the power of our iconic essence is because it is so unique that nobody else is exactly what you are. And so there isn't a reflection out in the world. That's why I think it was so interesting for me to get my reflection in the world, right? But typically there isn't someone else who is like saying, yes, you can do this, because they're showing the proof of it. Your uniqueness is you. So you being you means you will carve your own path in some way. For some people, that's being an entrepreneur. For some people, that's just the way that you're going to think about something and be in a conversation, and how you approach things, the decisions that you make, that they will come from you. And so we have to build an inner strength to have that kind of inner authority and self-belief. So in that first panel discussion, we heard from people who have had all kinds of journeys, right? Sometimes moving through self-doubt, sometimes changing their names, sometimes, going through a bankruptcy and then inventing a whole new money pathway. Ali Katz, she was sharing, she was a very successful business person and lawyer, and then things happened. She went into bankruptcy. After that, this past year, she went on and had a $10 million year, right? It's like there's so many layers to a journey. And something that she shared that I think was really interesting, this idea that, we think maybe there's like a failure, or there's something that, from the outside maybe doesn't look like it's the success, but sometimes it's the exact success for you to become the person you are here to become. That's why it can take so much strength, because someone else may think, wow, like, well, that's a disaster, or oh, wow, too bad for this person, or something. Meanwhile, it's the exact configuration of learning that someone might need to birth the wisdom that they are going to gift the world with, right? And so it takes a lot of courage to walk your path with all of the layers that it's going to present to you. So in that first panel, we were exploring that, talking about it. And, a lot of insights come up just hearing other people's stories. So for yourself, take notes if there was anything from that panel or that idea of claiming the power of your iconic essence that feels important to you for your journey. Okay. And you can share that if you would like, get it in your journal. So just you've got your thoughts if there's something you want to say about it. All right. Annette says, first day. So the visualization from the first day: entered through the bottom of my right foot. It's very specific. And then during the second guided visualization, and when I got the heartland, oh my goodness, when I arrived at my heartland, it was a lush green paradise, a whole environment. This is where I keep all the things in my heart, all the things, the heart openers, the heartbreakers, all of it. There was room for all of it. So I left the heartland for another circulation, this time a circulation to let it all in. It left me feeling euphoric. It is euphoric. Exactly. This your wholeness, right? Like and that speaks to also what I was just sharing about, in Ali's story as well, where it's like, even the heartbreaks, right? Even the challenges are part of the story. They're not something we have to escape from. Last night I had an experience. I was in resistance about, something I was doing, and I was kind of like kicking and screaming and like, resisting. And finally, I just was like, the faster I embrace the thing that is happening, the more I allow my resources of my whole self to be present in this moment, to move through what I need to move through. As long as I'm resisting it and kind of like, putting this other thing outside and not wanting to let it in because it's hard and I don't like it, right? But the challenges are sometimes the ingredient. It's just like that story with the butterfly in the cocoon. If you help it out of the cocoon, it doesn't get the strength because it has to push itself out. And in pushing itself out, it kind of moves the circulation into those wings so it actually gets its wings. If someone tries to help it out, it's not going to make it. So our challenges are just as much of a value in the big story of our iconic essence as the things that, we easily embrace. And so it's a beautiful thing, Annette, that you just shared about that with, the heartbreak and the wonderful things and the hard things. And then it is euphoric because now you are whole. Now you have your wholeness. You are resourced. You are resourced. It's so inspiring. Okay, so for the panels, we had that first one, claiming the power of your iconic essence. The second one was iconic essence in action. And, I think oftentimes people think about that as kind of like putting it into like the world and, making money, creating offers and circulating, marketing, knowing your brand, your business, if you're an entrepreneur, all those things. There's often that energy. It's like, I gotta put my gifts in motion. I gotta put them out there. And I think that can be a layer of it. If you're an entrepreneur, then definitely, knowing your iconic essence is a game changer. I mean, that's like absolute. Like when you have a connection to that, your business will have a frequency that is unique to you. And there's a certain kind of clarity and transmission and magnetism that will come through when your iconic essence is leading your business and you put it in action. Absolutely. And so iconic essence in action can mean that. It can also mean just the way in which we live our life, how we schedule things, how we allot our time, how we go about everything. How do we get dressed, and what do we choose to wear, and what do we choose to eat? How do we choose to respond to an email, or all those things? So just notice in that discussion and in that idea, that topic, anything that came up for you that feels like an important clue around your intention for this journey. So iconic essence in action, anything about that? Just making some notes for yourself. Okay. Evelyn says, be the light. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then our second guided visualization, which was on our third day, was about illuminating your thriving path. And so in this one, again, we went through the body. We went through the body to connect with these sort of other realms, these other energetic places of our being. And we went into the heart. And there was a world in there, however it appeared. Sometimes it's a landscape, and sometimes it's actually like plasma light colors. One of the things that we were doing in that visualization, there was a point where it's like, remember something where you really felt love, and notice how your heart responded to that energy of that love. And in that moment, something that I saw I was in this land, it's like an environment. There was some buildings and stuff too, but it was a lot of nature and very just majestic, beautiful Garden of Eden type of thing. And there, when I really felt love, these sort of rainbow northern lights started going through the sky, and it was daytime, but these rainbow northern lights, if you've ever seen the northern lights, it's like these ripples of light that go through the sky. And they were like these rainbow waves that were rippling through the sky in the day. And that was like this love current. It's really magical. So notice what may have come up for you and in that. And then what we were doing was from the heart, there's a circulation pathway that would go through your whole body, but also possibly go through this whole magical realm of wherever your heartland is. And exploring that and seeing how love moves through you. And if there were any places that needed some love, and being able to offer some compassion and some love to those places, and just kind of doing a few of those circulations and noticing. And then there was a circulation that kind of expanded beyond, beyond you, rippling out beyond. So seeing what comes through with that. And then there was a point at the end of that visualization where it's kind of like when you move in love, you move in your own body, it's almost like there were worlds being created in the footprints. And just sort of noticing what was being carved, what pathway was being carved as you were moving with that current of love. So those were the ideas in the visualization. Now you may have also, it may have taken you in another direction. That's okay. But noticing again, what came up for you and what feels relevant for your intention for this journey. All right. Eliza says, I was so inspired to hear from the woman who have distilled their unique, iconic essences. I love seeing how these essences evolve too. So reassuring. I'm at the beginning of this and it pulled me forward. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. And it's, we're all at the beginning of our next wave, right? And it is like a never ending unfolding journey. It is like an eternal garden that continues to flower because it's sourced from an eternal well. And so it is so rich when we get into the iconic essence journey and really into like the soul work. The iconic essence work is really the process of bringing your soul into your human experience. That's really what it is. It's like your uniqueness from the deep well where you come from, that source energy, the divine source, the universe, that how you are connected with that, how it comes through you is an eternal journey. It's incredible. And I agree, Eliza, it is so inspiring because, and that's why I was so happy to do those panels, because when you hear how amazing, like what people can do and the journey they go on, and challenges, like what people have gotten through and overcome, and what they do with that, how they become themselves it is awe-inspiring. Absolutely. All right. Suzanne says, iconic essence in action is discovering and devotion to my own art of self-nourishment. There was the most powerful piece where my love circulation disconnects, so the circulation is ruptured. Learning to love the spaces in between, what do they need? Yeah, and that's where the gem is right there. That may be your gold, is building a relationship with the need, what is needed, and being able to hear it, to recognize it without just kind of pretending it's not there or bypassing or trying or whatever, like, oh gosh, well, I pretended, who knows how, whatever patterns we all kind of can develop in our situations. But being aware to listen, it creates so much compassion and kindness and presence with yourself, a deepening. It's really beautiful. All right. So those were the pieces that we journeyed through. And then, of course, there is the actual life of the spaces in between, from the ceremonial points where we were connecting, of like, what, things may have happened there as well, where something landed, where you maybe saw something and you're like, oh, that makes my vision more clear because now I understand something. Let those pieces come in as well. And then I'd like you to see if you can discern what is the most precious gift that you received from that entire, all of it. Like what is the message for you? What is the vision for you? What is the piece that came through? How has your intention been answered, been addressed? What have you received that it's like, okay, this is it. This is my next piece. This is what I got from this. All right. So you can receive that. You can share it if you'd like. And then I invite you to, if you are working with the journal, you can fill that in on page 20 in the circle. What's the most precious gift you received from your Global Vision Quest experience? The most precious gift. You can write something down, fill that in. Okay. Nina says, my devotion to the path of joy connected with dance, art, and metaphysics. No suffering any longer, but nourishing myself. Yeah. It's almost like a decision, right? It's like receiving the clarity of where you are putting your energy allows you to make a decision. So when a moment comes up where you could kind of go different directions, you could go, towards your joy, or you could go towards the suffering. Knowing that, it's almost like, oh, okay, how can I move towards my joy? How can I connect with the dance, the art, the metaphysics? Like, those are keys that move you in that direction. And so when we have clarity, when we get a vision, it helps us to navigate our life. All right. Hannah says, no matter what happens on the outside, the queendom is always present inside. Yes. That could be, you could make like a sticker or even a journal or like, a t-shirt, and it's like, yes, exactly. Right. Like, and the more that we remember that, we regain that in itself is how to claim the power of your iconic essence, is remembering that exact thing that you just said. Amazing. Annette says, I can let in prosperity as a gift, that my current path towards financial success is a soul-filled journey, not a selfish journey. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Empowering ourselves financially is a spiritual experience. Absolutely. It's a spiritual experience, because what it will, when you're wanting to align your money with your soul path, that starts to alchemize that money, and the way you experience that money and relate with that money, and bring it in or spend it or save it, however it is, it does become a spiritual experience. That's not a selfish pursuit at all, from my opinion, my perspective. All right. Evelyn says, I fell in love with an old version of me. I start seeing me with the eyes of love and start saying to myself, oh my God, I am inspired by who I am. Seeing my old version with this kind of inspiration will create, for sure, something totally new on what I will be creating next. I reconnect with my orgasmic path. Yes. Yes, definitely. Like, the orgasmic energy is definitely part of your iconic essence, for sure. All right. Deborah says, I found clarity in what my vocation of service to humanity is. Woohoo! Yes. I mean, there it is. That's it. All right. So just for yourself, again, making any notes that feel relevant to you. If there's any specific actions or things that your clarity wants you to do, you can take notes of kind of how you are receiving your clarity, your vision quest, and anything that you feel you need to do to integrate that. You can make those notes for yourself. All right. So what I want to do, I want to share with you a special announcement. Oh my goodness. So, all right, I'm kind of bursting with it. So the iconic essence work is truly profound, truly beautiful. It's something that, like I was sharing earlier, I started working on and consciously developing this over a decade ago. And for those of you who maybe have been with me for a number of years, you may remember the New Icon project. And, and there were years of doing that. And, it was all about expressing your iconic essence, embodying it, turning it into your business, connecting money with your gifts. And this is something that touched my heart so deeply. It was so profound. It was so magnificent. And actually, I want to show you some pictures from that time of people that we did in the studio where I am right now. We did photo shoots with people of their iconic essence. And so we, each year I would gather a group of people. We would have like the rainbow represented. So there'd be different people, their iconic essence was expressed through kind of different color frequencies. And we would have these groups and do these things. So I want to share some of the photos of people that, where they were working on expressing their iconic essence, and we captured it here in the studio. So have a look at some of these images. And so what we were doing at this time is really getting to that core source energy of someone, whether it's like a watery vibe or a uniqueness of, like the peacock and, or a certain kind of energetic exuberance, getting to the core of someone and understanding that expression so deeply, so intimately, so profoundly that you could embody it. You could become the total expression of your iconic essence. So this is something, looking back at these images, it's so beautiful, seeing the expression and knowing what they mean to each person. It's a full communication. Like, imagine from the visions that you had, being able to actually turn that into a full expression and embodiment. It's incredible. And having those reflections of seeing yourself in that way is truly, truly magical. So years ago, this is something that I did in the studio, loved it. I loved it. And then, life is unfolding, things are happening, things on the planets are changing, society is shifting, things are moving, this and that. And I had a very clear, guided vision: let this work incubate. Let it sit for a while. It was almost like it went into a cocoon. It literally went into a cocoon. So if you've been with me for a while, you would have witnessed this. The New Icon work was like out there doing all these things, and then it did go into a cocoon space. And I wasn't sure. I thought, well, maybe that's what it wanted to be, and that's all that it was. Like, it did its thing. But over the past year and leading up to now, I got a very clear, strong current of, that butterfly in that cocoon was ready to kind of like, it wanted out. It's like time to come out again. And I sat with it and I listened to it because, it's like, and you want me to, help, be part of this. And I was listening, why now? What's going on? Like, what's going on? And really, as I heard it, it's almost like it's its own being, the iconic essence work, the New Icon work. It's like its own energy. And it was so clear. It was like, with all the shifts that are happening on the planet, it's like those of us who are called, we are being called to a next level of our own expression, our own embodiment, and really the ability for our body to handle like the next level of soul frequency light codes in our physical body. Like that we're actually, like, I feel there's a lot more coming through on the planet. Beautiful, beautiful, incredible things. Higher level soul rememberings, bringing through really who we are in this reality. We don't have to go escape somewhere. It's like heaven on earth, bringing things to here. And so there is this mass physical upgrade going on in the body, and also a deepening of that connection to enable it to come through, to know what to do. What are we here to do for the next wave of humanity? Because I really do believe there is someone out there that their iconic essence knows instinctively what to do about pollution, what to do about different environmental issues, what to do about the education system, what to do about the medical system, there's someone that is their soul is here to bring something through. But what that means is that we have to do the work to be able to bring those epic gifts through that each one of us has. As we bring through our gifts, we are contributing to the evolution of humanity. It may seem like someone mentioned about, is it selfish for me to want to, no, it is not selfish. It is the most contributing thing we can do for the ecosystem to be the full expression and embodiment of ourselves. It is the best contribution any one of us can make, because then we are bringing through like pure health, pure magic, pure potency and wisdom and innocence, beauty, insight, inspiration, a certain level of like intelligence, soul level intelligence to bring these things here. So I got very reinvigorated by the whole thing and was won over by the new iconic essence being saying like, yes, I'm ready for the next wave of this. And so what is happening is there is a rebirth of the iconic essence work. I am going to be guiding an iconic essence journey. And this is a year-long journey to explore, express, and embody your iconic essence, to get into the nuance of it, to understand it, to develop it, to cultivate it, to learn how to express it in whatever medium is yours. And, someone it's as an artist, someone it's as a business person, someone it is working on environmental things, working on certain kinds of activism, whatever medium is your expression, to cultivate it, to bring it through. It is it's like a soul, it's midwifing your soul here on the planet. That's what the iconic essence work is. And to embody your soul frequency and your gifts. So the iconic essence journey, this is something that is it's in Soul Art School. We're doing this in Soul Art School for a year. And we're going to be going through the chakra system, okay? And the chakra system is really like, it's the union of your soul, your spirituality, your light body with your physicality, your human self. So when working with the chakras and going through your whole body, imagine aligning every aspect of your physical body with your iconic essence, bringing the soul into the body, upgrading the body, harmonizing them, aligning them. So your actions you're like in sync. You're in sync with yourself. So we're doing a full chakra journey, doing creative spiritual processes. Yes, sometimes there's a visualization and that may be a piece of it, but that's not the only type of thing. It's like going into creative spiritual exercises. Just like someone would go and maybe work out in the gym, we're working out our soul, our creativity, because our creativity is the creation. It's your relationship with creator, your relationship with divine source energy. So creativity is your power. It is a power. So we work with creative processes, and that can be, from journaling to sketching to imagining to, collaging, putting pieces together, going on a walk and getting messages, intuition. Like there's so many layers to it. You don't need to have all kinds of art experience to do this, but if you do, then maybe art's your medium. But we go through these creative spiritual processes to really bring your iconic essence through, to explore it, express, and embody it. So the iconic essence journey is coming up. We're going to be starting this actually next week. That's why I want to let you know this is time sensitive. We start next week on Wednesday, March the 12th, and we go on a journey. Now, this is something that is online, so you can be anywhere in the world. We will have live monthly ceremonial sessions to get into the different chakras and the different teachings. And then we also will you have like a month to work on that idea or that chakra. And then we will have time that is just for the group to connect and talk. And I will be offering intuitive insights for people, as we're journeying through. So there's connection and support as you're going through it. It's a full experience to do it. All right. So I'm going to be sharing, you can start to look this up. I have a lot more I want to say about it to kind of get to the special announcement, but it's all a special announcement, but there's some juicy parts too. You can look this up. It is online. It's at soulartschool.com/iconic. You can look it up. Okay. And right now there is an early bird pricing that is going to be there until March the 9th. So you've got a couple days to get the early bird, and it's significant, it's significant to do that. So if you want to do it, go for it, and you'll have a huge savings. And the other piece that I want, there's so many bits. Okay, let me reel myself in because I'm like I have something to share and it's big and I want to share it. Okay. But before I do, I want to show you a few more clips of some stuff here. So when I was doing all the new icon stuff years ago, and now it's being rebirthed and it's coming for the next wave of humanity and all this stuff, it's ready to go. But I want to show you just a little bit of the behind the scenes of people who were doing iconic essence work. And just to get a sense of, some of these people are artists, some of these people are not. And it's just this is us in our journey and our processing and going for it. So I want to show you some of the pictures from Iconic Essence, new icon journeys that I have been guiding for people over the years. All right, so let's take a look at this. Oh yeah, we of course we include photo shoots and all these things that we have been doing, but setting up a sacred space to go into it and getting into our process. Absolutely. So many layers of what to work on and colors and textures and portals. We've made portals, and again, always connecting with the body as well. There is this relationship between our higher self and our human self, and feeling how that moves through our legs and our arms and our organs, and creating things to express ourselves and what our inner world wants to say outwardly, whether it be through music and so many dancing, visual arts, costuming, fabrics, so many things. Just to get in deep, feel deeply, sounding your voice, moving the vibrations, feeling your heart, opening yourself up, reconnecting with nature. It's just so meaningful, so beautiful. And being able to actually feel like you are expressing and embodying that magical inner world, connecting with others as well who are on the journey. It is a heart journey for sure. It's a soul journey. So I just wanted to share some of those. Warms my heart to see that. So in that work, one of the things, obviously, we've done all kinds of photo shoots and things like that, but also I've worked with people privately, and I've been able to, we can kind of go deep and we can get into a space together and just, go in the deep dive and, bring through the things quickly and all of that. So the special announcement that I wanted to share that is time sensitive for this journey, for the people who, if you're feeling that this is for you, you're gosh, I didn't even know this is exactly what I need. I just didn't even know. And I know, and I got to do this. It's the next thing. And, it can be that space to hold you for a year while you literally go through your metamorphosis into your next embodied expression of yourself, and develop it and literally go through it with your full body. So you're in sync with it and you're processing the things along the way. And so if you know it's for you, I hope that you will sign up and join this profound transformational experience. And for those who are ready to go and want to sign up today, I'm going to be gifting the first 10 people that register for the Iconic Essence Journey, I'm going to be gifting you with a private session for us to get into your iconic essence. And really, and this is what all those people you saw photos of them, this is something that I did with all these people, being able to reach that core element of you and to start to amplify and illuminate it so that it can start to like breathe through you. And sometimes that means having to process some pain to be able to actually allow it through. And so having some private time together is a beautiful opportunity for us to kind of have almost like light years of movement and momentum for your journey. All right. So that's what I wanted to share for the time sensitive piece. That for the first 10 people that sign up today on this opening day, because this is a big day for me as well, where this is work that is being reborn, coming out of the cocoon after years of incubating and preparing for this time, is so meaningful to me. And I can sense for those that are going to be going on this journey, this is a very significant rebirth experience. This is a soul retrieval at the next level and a rebirth of things that probably you were cultivating and working on for lifetimes. And now this is the time that it needs to come out in the biggest way that is of your destiny. I can't think of anything more meaningful and significant than that. So this feels like a very big day to kind of feel that first crack in the cocoon as it's starting to come out. So for those who are feeling it, I want to connect with you and for us to go into, start with some private work to support you in your journey. So for the first 10 people who do register for the Iconic Essence Journey, I will be gifting you with a private session, and you can be anywhere in the world. We can connect like on the phone, or we can work out whatever technology works for both of us. But it's amazing, and I can't wait for that. So that I want to say, and so you can sign up solarartschool.com/iconic. Something else that I would like to share with you is a little bit of my own iconic essence and how I have been developing it over the years. And so if you have been with me for a while, I'm sure you've seen many of the photo shoots that I have done. I've traveled around the world doing photos all over the world in beautiful places, and it's absolutely incredible. I'm so grateful and inspired by all these things that I have done, and still inspired so much, and I have so much more I want to do. But what I want to share with you is there's so many ways that we can express our iconic essence. And when we tap into it, it is like a waterfall of pure inspiration that you get lit up and you've got stuff to bring through, and so I have definitely had things to bring through, and I want to share some of the images of my iconic essence expressed through my embodiment, through, well, you have a look, check this out. A huge part of my iconic essence really has to do a lot with color, frequency, vibration, being in the art, embodying and creating magical worlds here in this realm, heaven on earth, bringing the soul frequency into this reality. And really following my heart and making dreams real, bringing the mythology of the inner world into reality, into this life, into this world. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and definitely one of the things that I've loved is just, riding the dragon, entering the magic of it and working in so many different mediums, just finding so many different ways to express those visions and dreams and sparks of inspiration. It just lights me up to no end. It just, oh my gosh. And I'm in my studio right now, and I am so like lined up geared up. I'm going to be going through this journey too. I cannot wait. I literally cannot wait. Because I know what's coming up. We're going through the chakras. We're going to do the root chakra, resourcing ourselves, going through the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, the crown, the higher self, the medicine that we're here to bring through, our purpose, the ecosystem. Like there's all these different chakras. It's the union of our higher self and our humanity. And I've been lining up my art projects are getting ready to go. It's like I literally am kind of like the unicorn is like the horse at the gate, ready to just start running. I'm so inspired. I can't wait to go on this journey. So I want to invite you to join me in the Iconic Essence journey. I want to invite you to claim the power of your own iconic essence, to make that a priority. It is at the foundation of everything you will do in your life. It's at the foundation of who you are, how you are in the world, what you're going to do. If you've been feeling like, gosh, I want to evolve my career, I want to align my money with this and with my gifts. I want to feel good in my body. I want to feel at peace. I want to feel like my life matters and that I'm enough. It's okay. And I'm on my path and I'm doing my thing and I am contributing and I'm enough even if I don't contribute. It's not the point about contributing, but that when you got something and it wants to spill out, like you can do it and doing it. And so if you've been feeling that, this is a place for you. This is a space for you. So I invite you to join the Iconic Essence journey. We start on March the 12th. It's a year-long journey. It's online. There's a beautiful community in Soul Art School already, an amazing group of people. It's just, they're so like the most beautiful hearts, a beautiful, beautiful group of people that are already there. And anyone who, coming in with this, there's a sacred space for you. There's a place where you belong. You can be yourself. You're going to be connecting with other people and they are being themselves. You don't have to become a different person. You get to become more of who you are and you get to practice being that person. You get to practice being yourself and interacting in the world as the person who you are and who you want to become. All right. So the Iconic Essence journey, it starts on March the 12th. For the first 10 people who do register today, I will be gifting you with a private session to deep dive and really illuminate, amplify, activate your iconic essence. If things need to be cleared and healed, we can start to do that work on that. The early bird ends on March the 9th. And we start on March the 12th. All right. So I just want to thank you so much for being part of this journey. We've been going through this global vision quest, getting to here. And if your next level is to keep going deeper with your iconic essence, then join the Iconic Essence journey. And I cannot wait to continue the journey with you. I want to thank you, everyone who has been part of this global vision quest. It's been so beautiful, so meaningful, so profound. And it feels like the door and the kind of the gift and the offering to open up for the Iconic Essence journey. And so I'm just so grateful to have gone through the global vision quest with you and to really celebrate this moment of this next level rebirth that is coming, really, it feels like, for all of us on the planet. So thank you so much. I'm just sending you so much love, and I hope to continue the journey with you. See you in the Iconic Essence journey. Lots of love to you from my heart to